iamXavierLee.
Daddy shark do 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 do. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So first things first, just wanted to say that I am not a professional. I'm not a doctor, and the advice, tips, and hacks that I'm going to give today are just things you should or you can use at your own discretion. You guys know what's up.
Look, Daddy.
I'm iamXavierLee, and I love being a dad, and I wanted to just answer a few questions that I got on YouTube. I was gonna answer them. See how we do. All right. No, Luppy, sweetie. No, we're not eating ice cream right now. We haven't even had dinner. That's crazy. That's not how the world works. But we gotta eat our nutrients first, the good food for dinner, and then we can have it after. Okay. Yeah, that's one thing. Boundaries is what kids like to push. So yeah, make sure you just keep them in line. Yeah. What is August's favorite book and why? What's your favorite book? Do you have a favorite book here? Which one? Go grab it. At the moment.
Oh no.
Is this. I'm not affiliated or sponsored by any of these things I'm about to show you guys, but I'll get the cameras right here. Yeah, you gotta come over here. Come by Daddy. Yeah, right there. This is just an alphabet wipe clean workbook, and he's just learning how to spell. He's learning how to write, and yeah, that's his favorite book at the moment. What's the biggest obstacle I've been going through during fatherhood? I've just been trying to build values that are going to be instilled in him, that he'll be able to look back on and say, yeah, I'm glad my dad taught me this. I think that's kind of the hardest thing, understanding like that all of this is a ripple effect. Like you throw a rock in the middle of a pond, it ripples out. And all these things that I do today are going to be things that he understands or will hold on in the future. So I think some advice that I could give new fathers or new parents, one of the first things would just be patience. Patience is really key. Understanding that we can't, if we're having a bad day, lashing out at our kids or, you know, getting upset with them when they do something that irritates us, that's really not okay. Another book I would even suggest, Wonder Weeks, is a book that describes exactly what the kids are going through from day 0 to like month 24 or something like that. So you're understanding kind of how they're seeing the world, and the more you, I guess, understand how they're seeing it, the more grace you can have for them and the more patience you can have for them. That's the advice I would give, just having patience and really understanding that this kid just came into the world and their brain is not even developed yet. They don't understand how to control their emotions or tantrums or, you know, sometimes how they act. They're just not in control of it all the time, and they don't know how to cope with it. So it's your job as a parent to be that voice of reasoning and be that person they can trust into and, you know, confide in when they're just trying to navigate this world, whether you have infant, toddlers, or teenagers. What's something that you have to help him through, for example, sickness or tantrums? Tantrums was probably the hardest thing that I had to ever get through. I come from a culture where you get whoopings and spankings. So whenever I acted out or when I was younger, I did something you know, bad, like a tantrum, I'd get a whooping. And from my experience, I just never learned from it. I never understood what happened, why I was being treated this way, and it built this type of like resent to where I was more so just mad and mad that I was always just being treated this way. And I remember growing up just telling myself that I would just never treat my kids like this when I grew up. As far as like the whooping and then not explaining to them like what you're getting, you know, in trouble for. So tantrums is what I had to figure out how to deal with, and credit goes to my wife. The best way to deal with the tantrum, I think, is getting down to the level and talking them kind of through it, or just letting them express their They're feelings
Yes,
of...
Daddy.
Good job. Keep going. Keep going. Those are his ears. They sometimes don't know how to control it, especially depending on the age. It's hard to let them... It's hard to understand how to control it, and it's embarrassing sometimes, if I can be honest. You'll be sitting in a grocery store and your kid starts acting up and you're kind of like looking around.
No.
And... What's wrong?
No, it's working.
It is working, sweetie. Look, it's turning orange. You got to do the whole picture. Take your time. There you go. Well, that's white. It's white. It's supposed to be white. So do the rest of this. All these are supposed to be a different color. The tiger is white and black and orange. It can be embarrassing to be sitting in a grocery store and your kid is like screaming and throwing a tantrum and everybody's looking at you. But that's something you're really gonna have to cope with. I learned that just sitting there and being with my son, it was just easier. It made it better. It kind of made our relationship a lot better. Instead of me getting down and being like, get up, get off of the ground, stop embarrassing us, or stop acting like that. You know what I mean? I kind of just put myself in his shoe to be like, well, are you okay?
Snake.
That is a snake. I'd tell him to take a deep breath. So I'd ask him for a hug. I would tell him, like, I'm here with you. It's okay to be feeling how you're feeling, but we can't stay here. We do have to get up and get out of that, feeling, and let's figure out what we can do to try to help the situation better. Communicate effectively with your child. Ways to boost confidence in your child. And how you plan on having hard discussions with your son as it relates to racism/social injustice. So the first part of the question, I think the best way to communicate with my kid is I talk to him like he is just a small person. I try to speak clearly. I ask him questions. I talk calmly. And I'm not perfect. Sometimes I do get frustrated and, irritated if he's upset or he's throwing tantrums or anything like that. So understand it's a process every day. Every day. Parenting is literally a nonstop. It's a nonstop thing. So you have to have patience with yourself and empathy for your kids, but you also have to tell yourself, like, it's okay. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna try better. I'm gonna keep doing better. And that's kind of what's always in the back of my mind. It's just being kind, asking him questions, trying to understand, like, oh, do you understand this, or how can I help, or letting him try to figure out something himself. But it's just being nice. I'm just being really nice to him and talking to him like he is, a person. The second part of the question, ways to boost confidence in your children. Well, understanding how to build confidence in them really just comes from, like, explaining to him, like, we do affirmations in the mirror where I tell him, like, you say I'm beautiful, I'm awesome, I'm smart, my name is Augie, and I love myself. Just little affirmations. I just, throughout the day, if he does something great, I hug him so tight, like, wow, good job, you did so good. But what's important that you understand is, like, it's not just about rewarding him when he's done something good, but also when he has done something and he's failed at it. It's telling him, good try, because truth is, the only thing that beats a failure is a try. If the kid never tries, he's never going to know if he can be good at it. And if you're only praising him for the things that he's doing good, he's only going to believe, like, I have to accomplish something great to receive recognition, or my parents to be proud of me. So it's imperative to me to always praise him, even if he messes up something bad, or he's trying, or he's on the bike and he falls off the bike. I still praise him. Good job. You did so good. And yeah, that's just showing in everything that he's doing. He wakes up in the morning, he looks in the mirror, and he's like, I'm cute. I'm so handsome. He's proud of himself, and he's proud of the skin that he's in. So the last part of the question was how you plan on having hard discussions with your son as it relates to racism and social justice. That's a tough subject to honestly begin with. I think the best thing I can do for my son is I just want him to... I don't think I'll have discussions with him yet. More so because he just doesn't understand colors and things like that yet. But it's introducing representation. It's introducing movies that have people that look like him. It's showing him things like exceptional people that are just like him. We look to things that can help represent and bring representation to him, that can help him see that he can be in these spaces, he can do these things. And slowly and gradually as he gets older, we'll read a little bit more, we'll do more things, but I'm not gonna all the stuff that I know, I'm not going to dive into that with him. It's more so just being kind to himself and kind to others, and doing what's right, standing up for people is really what I'm teaching him at this moment. Also teaching him that he's beautiful and he's black and he's awesome, and I'll continue to always, teach him stuff like that. Like always, I'll always teach him that he is just a beautiful, beautiful black boy. The second question, I really want to know, how do you get your son to be a good listener and be so well behaved and more? Okay. See, I'd be lying if I told you that he's like super well behaved and he's such a good listener, because not all kids aren't. That's not real life. It's not the truth. He has days where he's like throwing tantrum and you can't calm him down, or he's very upset and he doesn't want to listen, and that's normal. But I think the best way that I try to make him be a good listener is just being patient, asking him questions, telling him something, and then asking him like, do you understand? So I'll always give him 5 things before we go to bed. And it's like just a list. I'll tell him a list of things we're going to do, and I make him repeat it back to me, so I know he's listening, or I know he understands. So I'll say stuff like, okay, we're going to eat dinner, then we're going to go read a book, then we're going to go brush our teeth, then we're going to go night-night. And I'll just have him repeat it to me, like, now what did I say? And he'll repeat it back, and he understands. So I think that's kind of just the way I go about seeing if he's repeating things or repeating it back, and just understand, like, are you understanding what I'm saying? Because I think a big part of communication is listening, and if you're not really listening to how he feels or what he wants or what he says, then you're missing half of communication pretty much. So that's my best way to make sure that he just listens good. The part about well behaved, don't get me wrong, we haven't been able to eat at a restaurant. Like, he gets in there and he gets all crazy. That's kind of normal parenting. I am not about to put up this fake facade like kids are perfect and they don't do things or act out, because that's just not real parenting and it's not real life, and that's not me. I'm not a fake person. I'm not going to tell you that. Like, I'd be dead wrong if I told you that he is just the most well-behaved kid and everything. That's just not real. He's just like any other kid, acts out and does what he wants sometimes, and you just got to make sure that you just reel him back in. Like, hey, get back in here. We got to listen. Do you understand? Let's stay focused. Let's still be kind. Let's act civil. So, yeah, I think for the most part, he's a great, well-behaved kid. But everybody has their day. So then this is the last question I'm gonna answer, because this video is probably like already so long, and I appreciate all of you guys that are staying here with me. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, please like the channel. Please press the like button, press the bell for notifications, and subscribe. Anybody that's new to the channel, thank you so much for sticking around so far. I really do appreciate it. But I'm gonna answer this last question, and then yeah, you guys can get back to doing whatever you're doing. So the last question is, advice is always good, showing how you are navigating being a father, maybe some thoughts on how you approach teaching and raising. But I'd also be interested in like how it makes you feel too, and this is a good guy, Dean Ford. The best way I'm navigating fatherhood is day by day, month by month, to be honest. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly trying to understand what it takes to be a good dad. The best way I'm navigating fatherhood is literally just day by day. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself. I'm just trying to be good to my kids, great to my wife, and that's just doing it day by day. How I go about teaching and raising is, I don't know, I think the best thing any of us could do to really want to help our kids is be all in. I really just want to, I'm not the only person. Like, it takes a village. And that might not be like all the people in my community. It might be like resources like a new book, or, their teacher who's helping them with reading and spelling, or helping them with something that I don't understand. What I have to provide as a parent is resources and whatever I can to help them. And that's constantly just asking him questions and talking to him, just trying to understand what he needs or what he wants, or, discussing with my wife what he needs and what he wants. The last part of the question is, I'd also be interested in how it makes you feel. And I like that question. I think being a dad is tremendous. I wrestled in college. I've had a really really, really good last 8 years of college and being an academic scholar and a national qualifying wrestler, scholarship recipient, all these great things. But I think the biggest accomplishment that I've ever accomplished was being a dad and being a husband. And it's the best feeling in the world, knowing that this person depends on me to provide and teach and love them. And to me, it's just the biggest honor. It just makes me feel, I can't even think of a word, it just makes me feel absolutely elated. Like, I just love being a father. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for your questions. We really appreciate it. And we hope to answer more questions on fatherhood and parenting and all those cool things. So yeah, see you guys soon. Peace.
iamXavierLee. Oh, yeah.